The Big Show on Hauraki. Cheers, Tui, for bringing back the laughs in a world gone mad. Yeah, right.
Welcome to the biggest show on earth.
Our biggest show.
Biggest.
This is big.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyt, Mike Minogue and Keezy.
Oh, g'day, you mad bastards. Great to have your company this Tuesday afternoon, the 29th of October 2024. And you, my friends, are listening to The Big Show, brought to you by Tui. G'day, ya! Mogi is stallion. You look like you had a good weekend, man. You're, once again, your veins are popping. T-shirt straining there. Nipples protruding. Looking hot, man. How's life?
Going pretty grousey, you mad dog. You've always been what I would call a sick son of a bee, you know?
Sure, man.
Yeah. No, I had an absolute blinder of a weekend. I got about 8 minutes sleep the whole time.
Yes.
And I'm back, baby. I'm brand new. Back at the gym this morning, back in the sauna, back flicking strangers with my towel there, chasing them around the old changing room.
Your daughter's tiny towel.
Good eating,
Yeah, with the
man.
little bunny rabbits on it. I told my wife that story. She found it very funny.
I bet she did. Yeah, she was actually messaging me about it.
Oh, was she?
Hey, yo.
Yeah, good shit. Hey, Pugs on! Once again,
Hi,
another great weekend for you, by all accounts, the stories you were telling me. How are you, mate? You good?
It was a fantastic long weekend. Thanks, Jase.
Can I
Lots
just
of gigs.
say, and this is, look, I just want to be very careful, and they might have been talking about somebody else, but I was over at the pub just over here that we've got round here. See
Before
what I'm
coming
saying?
in here?
No, it was over the weekend there, and I was over there, Jason, I was sitting down, I was doing number twos, and then written on the wall there, it said, Pug son is a mad rooter. Is that you, man?
There's only one Pug son I've ever heard
I don't know
of.
about that. Sounds like there might be another one out there.
Right, okay.
Pug son, you know.
Well, I mean, you are a mad rooter, but I mean,
Well,
that's
come on.
nothing wrong with that, Pug son.
Did you write that?
Did I write?
Yeah.
No.
Right.
But what I did do is I got my vivid out and I underlined it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I underlined the mad bit.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
remember,
awesome.
actually, just on there.
Sure, yeah.
No, just not on you being a mad rooter.
Oh, okay,
Everyone
yeah,
knows
yeah,
that.
yeah. Oh, right.
You know, the old graffiti in the toilet?
I do.
God, that used to be fascinating, reading about all the goss on the toilets
It
there,
did.
eh? Especially in a boys' boarding school. You can only imagine.
Dial 027 Pugsan for a good time.
Yeah. Douche. Oh, my weekend was fine, Pug son. Thanks for asking,
Yeah, I
man.
think I'm ready to move on, man. You're more wanting to talk about my...
Rooting?
Nah.
No, you don't want to do that. Okay.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyt, Mike Minogue, and Keezy.
Yes, indeed. Cake there on the radio. Hauraki Big Show this Tuesday afternoon. The time is 13 minutes past 4 o'clock. Incidentally, hope everyone out there had a fantastic long weekend. Can we do Maggot Tuesday? After a long... It doesn't work, does it?
Doesn't work,
No. Because
It's a shame.
I'm thinking there'll be a lot of maggots out there after the long weekend.
Yeah, there will be. But it's just one of those things. You just
It
gotta,
can only be Monday.
It's water under the bridge.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do instead, a bit of vanilla radio.
That shit, vanilla radio. Turn that shit off with Hoity J.
Well, hang on. I need to know it was specific to me there.
It
Who
is
put that in there?
specifically you.
It's all you,
It was
I
brother.
mean,
your idea.
I was the first one to think of vanilla radio as in terms of a really terrible idea, but you know what I mean.
That's right. Well, what have you brought to the table today, man?
Have I brought this one to the table? Have I?
No, it's me, and it
Yes.
is. What we've gone with today is it's going to be another big poll because you've got to have a poll or certainly a lot of listener feedback when it comes to vanilla radio, and that is teachers only days, yes or no.
Sure.
So I don't think it doesn't happen at every school, does it? It's an individually sort of based thing. The principal at each school will make the decision. But my daughter's got a teachers only day today, which just happens to come at the end of a long weekend.
Yes.
So one way they're looking at it is they're giving all of the pupils and their whānau, all their family, they get an extra long weekend.
Sure.
But they only get an extra long weekend. It is for the kids because the parents still have to go to school, have to go to work.
Yes.
So it feels to me like potentially it's the teachers are jacking it up for themselves to have an extra long weekend.
Sure.
What I'd like to know is if there's any teachers out there, give us a text on 3483, even call us, dare I say, on 0800 Hauraki, and just tell us exactly what it is that you do on a teachers only day. I can't imagine what it is because you just do your planning as part of your everyday life, don't you?
Yes, you do.
What is it exactly that you guys are doing?
Now, look, This is my view on it, Mogi, and as you know, I trained to be a teacher.
Failed miserably.
And I will not have a bad word said about teachers. Not in my house.
However,
and Pugs aren't just going off about this topic off air and just bagging teachers left, right and centre. I just want to say, but having said that, and this is true with all my girls, it got to the point with teachers only days where I was going, what the bloody hell is going on? It seemed to me like every second week there was a bloody another teachers only day. And my life would be, oh no, the girls are at home. It'd be like, why? It's a teachers only day. And it just started to do my head in. And like you, I'm very curious to know what the hell they do on teachers only day.
Yes.
Is it just a massive piss up? Is it them just, each bringing a plate and having a bit of a hoolie?
Yes.
Is it them just extending their long weekend into a 4-day weekend?
Yes.
But as I say, I won't have a word said against teachers.
nah.
Because
The
it's
laziest backbones there are in this country.
it's a noble profession, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, it's quite genuine. It used to do my head in.
I want to back you up there, Jase. I think it is one of the noblest professions in the world.
Yes.
I think the problem is the scumbags in this country we've got doing it.
Yeah, man. So give us a call or text us on 3483. Maybe you're a parent, you're over it. Maybe you're a parent, you love it. Maybe you're a teacher, you're over it. Maybe you're a teacher and you love it. Who cares? Just have an opinion.
And also, if you give us a text on 3483 or give us a call on 0800 Hauraki or leave us a talkback on iHeartRadio, you can win yourself a Tui prize pack.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jase, Mike and Keezy. Tune in weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
Yes, indeed, a classic there. The exponents on the radio. Hauraki Big Show this Tuesday afternoon. Incidentally, keep an ear out for our gig a little. Hey,
yeah.
fellas? I just have that feeling today. I don't know why, but just keep an ear out. Now, today, my colleague across the room there, Mr. Mike Minogue,
Yeah.
stallion, absolute stud that he is, was listening, as he always does, to one of his favourite podcasts, The Agenda, I believe
right.
it was,
That's right.
Megan. He was listening to it. And then in the middle of The Agenda, there was a advertorial, I guess, an advert read.
Well, the thing about the agenda, Jase, is it's New Zealand's greatest
Wow.
sporting podcast.
Yeah.
At the New Zealand Radio and Podcast Awards, it's been voted as such
2 years,
in a row.
Sorry to jump in, but
Despite the fact that it contains very little chat about sport. But you only need 10% content around sport, as far as I understand, and then that qualifies as a sporting podcast, so you scrape in there. And I was thoroughly enjoying it when all of a sudden an advertorial for the ACC Sports Almanac, or the history of the ACC, the latest hardback, the latest bit of tat that the ACC are peddling for Christmas.
Propaganda.
And it was read by Mania Stewart, and Mania Stewart's in our studio today. How are you?
good, thank you. To pull you behind the curtain, I was out of the office today, and
Oh.
I came into a furor when
Yeah.
I walked back into the office.
And
They said-
rightly so. I mean, Mania, I've read a lot of ads in my time, mate. And I was listening, and Mogi, of course, played us said ad, and it was such an abomination. It was such a travesty. It was
I haven't heard it.
so appalling that even I was shocked. And Mogi's been upset about it all day because it ruined his listening experience to his favourite podcast, The Agenda.
Well, I was
That
actually
ruined it?
It was actually because I was playing it for my 5-year-old daughter, and I said, because Mania, normally your ad reads are so good,
Yeah.
And so when it came to the air break, I turned it up maximum loudness at home on my stereo so my daughter could hear it, and the language was out of this world. Pugs, if you wouldn't mind.
The Alternative Commentary Collective Almanac. The Alternative Commentary Collective Almanac. A decade of New Zealand sport. Whether you're an ACC fan or you're new to the madness, this book is an insight to it all. From the glory of the Test champ. Whether you're an ACC fan or new to the madness, this book is an insight to it all.
Can I just ask in your defence, big long weekend, maybe, Mania? What's going on there?
I don't know when that was recorded. I think it was a couple of weeks ago. And,
Oh, right.
You know, as a long-term broadcaster, Jase, you should know that you don't get all these reads right in one go. And
Wow.
you should have the safety and security of a producer to pick that up before they go to broadcast it. So if anyone's at fault here, Jase, I
Sure.
would suggest that it's the producers.
Yeah, who was the producer on that?
I don't know.
I take your point, Mania. Oftentimes we'll be in here and we do many liners, don't we, Jase?
We
Because
do.
we're
great
so
deal.
attractive to advertisers and brands right across this great nation.
We do a lot for that punishing ACC as well.
A lot of charity work
the amount
too.
of shit I do for them.
That's right. And Jase, whenever he makes a mistake, instead
Never.
of dropping the F-bomb like you do, he just will whip out the latest racial slur.
Well, this is what I was going to say when I came in. Thankfully, thank God it was me that did that, because there
Yeah.
are members of the Alternative Commentary Collective who, given the opportunity, would have set our station, this station, and the ACC back 100 years.
Yes.
You being one of them, Jase.
Oh, no,
Quite
come on.
frankly.
Yeah.
I've had to
No,
cut-
no,
the
no.
amount of-
Nah,
the
see,
amount of stuff
don't
I've
be
had to
tuning
cut
it.
out personally.
Don't be tuning it.
Pugs,
Well,
you know, the amount of
Yeah,
stuff
oh,
you
I
would have
do.
to
We
cut out.
know, and I take issue with what Mogi was saying there, because I don't make mistakes on reads. Never, not once.
So the
In
slurs
nearly
are on purpose?
30 years, I've never made a mistake. So I don't know what that's. I don't need a good producer, even though Pug sounds great.
Oh, cheers, man.
But you don't need them.
Nah.
So there's no TV producer out there that's got some takes of yours that didn't make it to air.
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely not. Definitely not. Okay, well, we just wanted to give you the opportunity, Mania, of just apologising to the listeners out there
Yeah.
for that abomination. Do you want to do that, or are you going to own it?
Yeah, no, I'd like to apologise on behalf of the producer that let that one slip into being broadcast. That's not what we're about, but be grateful, like Mogi should be, that it wasn't another member of the ACC that was talking to their children in the car.
Yeah, it's true.
But the ACC Agenda podcast is available on all reputable podcast platforms, and if you'd like to go download it and find out if the ad's still in there
It's
or
not
not.
meant to be a bloody
then you
plug
can
for
do
you
it
guys,
now.
all right?
And while you're at it, buy the ACC Almanac, available at all good books.
The Hauraki Big Show Podcast.
Lincoln Park there on the radio. Hauraki Big Show this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Now, the vanilla topic of the day was, vanilla radio topic of the day was Teachers Only Day, yes or no? We put it to the people on 3483. What's the general consensus there, Mogi?
Well, all the texts coming in from parent sort of along these lines. No teachers only day. They're taking the piss. Can't argue with that. Can't wait for the law to be passed for those buggers to have a teachers only day in their holidays, one of their 3 months of the year they get. And this one here says, this one's from teachers, because we did ask them, we wanted to hear from teachers as to what exactly they do on that day, because we don't know, do we?
No.
All we know is they're saying don't bring your kids to school. Teachers this time have been focusing their Teachers Only Day on the changes to the new curriculum and also looking at the new structures to maths programs. It's a very busy day. It's a very busy day.
So, it's been a busy day. So it's not a massive bong session then?
Well, it may well be, but also they do what they call professional development, where we build skills to deal with your kids on the daily. By the way, I work 6 days a week, sometimes 17 hours a day. What about you? Well, thanks for asking. I work 7 days a week, 18 hours a day. So you've got a bit of time up your sleeve there, so you'll be pleased to know about that. This one here says, take the piss all you want, but there's a lot of hours involved in hard work and being a teacher. So that's good. They said we can take the piss all we want.
Yeah. Yes. Well, as I say, I won't have a word against teachers. I know that our old Pug son's been bagging the arse off them, and I won't have it on this studio.
No. But that is good to know, because I don't know what they're doing.
Yes.
We don't get, I haven't been told, and having said that, I get about 9 million emails a day from the school telling me what's going on at the school with my
Yes.
kids. It's like having another job, trying to keep up to date with all the emails. So I appreciate them, but I'll be honest, I don't read all of them.
Sure, and I'll be honest too. Towards the end of my daughter's career at school, it felt like it was getting exponentially worse in terms of there seemed to be one every second week. It was just like another. I remember I say to my wife many times, "Another teachers only day? Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
Can I ask, was it your daughter telling you it was a teacher only day?
Probably.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not like we have radio announcer day only day.
Every day is radio
You beat me
announcer
to it.
day.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Jase.
Yeah.
But, and I do take the point, actually, that, we look at teachers with the good holidays they have and that they work from X to X time, but there's all the extracurricular stuff going on. There's the sporting teams, all the stuff, the marking, all that sort of carry on. So I won't hear in this damn studio, Pugsan, a word against anyone in that regard. And as I say, a noble profession.
Keep those texts coming on 3483 as well. All of those texts that came through and any new ones that come through in the draw for a Tui prize pack. We may get back into this a bit later in the show.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyt, Mike Minogue and Keezy.
Yes, indeed. The doors there on the radio. Hauraki Big Show this Tuesday afternoon. Now, listen, after 5, by the way, speaking of great music, we'll be reviewing the Tom York gig that we all went to go and see over the weekend, won't we, fellas?
We sure will. I went on the Friday night. You went on the Saturday night.
Yes.
Yeah.
Both saw completely different shows, completely different playlists, set lists.
Oh, wow.
For each
okay.
night.
Yeah, interesting. And also, just incidentally, keep an ear out for a gig a little today. I don't know why. Just keep an ear out. But right now, it's time for Sleep Chat.
It's Sleep Chat with Jason Mike.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, I had a ripper last night, man. You get to the end of a long weekend like that, you need a bit of a sleep when you've been drinking as responsibly as I had been.
Yes.
And went to bed there, and we...
Did wheeze?
We went to
wheeze?
sleep. Went to sleep. And I woke up in the middle of the night, and I had this, a tickling sensation. It was a tickling. It was a tickling sensation on the back of my neck. And I couldn't do anything about it because I was suffering from sleep paralysis. Now, sleep paralysis is where your body is still completely asleep. Jase, I know when you suffer from it, your body goes rigid, but mine's completely relaxed.
Right.
But I just can't move any part of my body at all. So you're trapped. You're trapped inside your body. And it's never a good time at the best of times.
No.
Because it takes like a couple of minutes for you to get it sorted out. And normally what I do is I concentrate on my pinky finger. And as soon as I can move my pinky finger, then the rest of the body sort of, follows along from there. But as I'm lying there paralysed and just thinking about the wonders of the human body, and this tickling happened at the back of my neck, I'm thinking, what is this tickling? Because it's nice.
Sure.
But I don't know what it is. And then I remember prior to going to bed, prior to going to sleep, my wife said to me, she says, there's a big cockroach up on the ceiling.
Oh, no,
okay.
no.
There's a big cockroach up on the ceiling. And I said to her, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It'll be gone. Who cares? That is always my attitude. I would have got up and got it, but it was too high. It's too high on the ceiling. So I just thought, bugger it. Who cares? So as I'm lying there paralysed, unable to move, I think to myself, well, I think I've found this cockroach. It's on the back of my neck there. So then I'm lying there and I'm going, and I'm shouting at my wife for help. She is awake now. This is about 3 o'clock in the morning. I've woken her up, and I'm screaming. I'm saying, wake me up. But it's just, I can't move anything. So it's just coming out. It sounds like that. And then eventually I'm able to move. And I wake up and she's like, are you all good? You all good? You were sleep talking. I was like, yeah, I was telling you to wake me up. I was telling you to wake me up because I was having sleep paralysis there.
Yes.
Anyway, I was so glad to be rid of the sleep paralysis that I just lay down again. Bloody hell. All of a sudden I feel a tickling in my ear.
Oh, no!
And I put my ear directly onto this cockroach and I just reach and I grab it and I chuck it. I don't know where. And I say, there you go. There's I found that cockroach.
Oh,
and,
God.
It was disgusting. And
Yes.
so I got up and I washed my hands and I washed my face, got rid of it and all that. But I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it anywhere. And then
They're crafty little bastards,
they are crafty little bastards. And we only see them. They're not house cockroaches. They're big bastards.
Bush cockroaches.
When we bring the wood in, so I had the fire on over the weekend. So when I bring the wood in, you always get another couple of few around the joint. So anyway, and then I came into the bedroom this morning to get something else, and there it was. It was sitting on my bedside table. and it was dead. But it was probably 3/4 the size of a lighter.
Right, okay.
The body was.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
it was that sort of size. So this was a not insignificant cockroach
Yes.
in my bed.
I've had a similar experience, but not in the sense of being paralysed at the time, because I have the old sleep paralysis as well. But I sit up very erect,
Yeah.
with my fists clenched, my jaw clenched, and I can't move. I can't break out of it.
Yeah.
That's my sleep paralysis. But I've had the thing too of exactly that, a cockroach in the corner of the room. And I can't reach it. And my wife, who despises them, and rightly so, she's like, oh, God. And lying in bed and going, it'll be fine, babe. And then feeling a scuttling across my face.
Yeah.
You know, there's no worse feeling. Incidentally, if there's medical people out there listening, can you give us sort of the reasons behind the old sleep paralysis? Generally stress-related, I think, Mogi.
Well, it's stress related, and oftentimes, certainly, it would be a lot more prevalent in my earlier 20s. It's as a result of sleep deprivation.
Yes.
So if you've been partying a fair amount, you'll find that you might have sleep paralysis.
And you don't get it, I know, Pugs, son, because you sleep the sleep of the dead, don't you? You
What does that even mean?
Well, I mean,
What
you
do
sleep like a baby because of your massive rooting sessions.
The Hauraki Big Show podcast.
Yeah, welcome back, you massive backbones. Hope you're getting through your Tuesday afternoon tickety-boo after the long weekend. You're listening to The Big Show, brought to you by Tui. Get it in ya! Get it in ya!
People said Tui couldn't run its Year Right campaign
No,
in this
no.
day and age. What?
Go again.
To that, what? People said that Tui couldn't run its Year Right campaign in this day and age. To that we say, yeah,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How'd
And
that
just,
feel?
Well, I felt good, man.
just on that note, by the way, if you've got any ideas that you think would make
yeah.
great billboards, text us 3483. We'll pass it on to management. They'll run it up the flagpole and see what happens. You could become a multi-millionaire. You never know.
They've actually got an 0800 number you can call, 0800 2 a year right, I think it is.
Right.
And you can chuck your ideas on there, and that is essentially the flagpole. It's an
Sure.
0800 flagpole. Get it through there, and you could win $1 trillion.
Wait,
Yeah.
for your billboard ideas.
That's
yeah,
what they
something
say.
like that.
Oh,
I
my
can't
gosh.
remember the exact details, but that's what's in my head.
Well, if they text them in here, they could also go in the draw for a Tui prize pack,
Oh,
which
that's
is
even
probably
better.
even better.
Yeah.
You know?
Speaking of $1 trillion, I won a $2 on a scratchy today.
That's so cool, man.
And you know the really good
How much
part
did it
about
cost you?
You know what? Well, this is the really good part about it, Mogi. There was a little ticket on our bench here, and it was a free ticket.
Oh.
And I went, I'll cash that bastard in. And I said, give me another one. And I won $2.
Yeah, boy.
But just on that, actually, coming up, I had a bit of a moral dilemma at my local dairy this afternoon that I want to talk to you about.
Yes.
Get your thoughts on. In the meantime, let's get into some music, shall we? A bit of Chemical Brothers.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jase, Mike and Keezy. Tune in weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
Tune! I tell you what, fellas,
Yeah.
that'd make a great throbber.
You would have thought so, wouldn't you?
Especially a Beer Varna would be a great trouble.
That's such a tune, man.
Yeah, man.
Now, fellas, I had a bit of a moral dilemma today
Ew.
at my local dairy.
Yes.
Oh, and incidentally, I finally found out the name of the new dairy owner. Because you remember my dairy used to be run by a fella by the name of Babu.
Yes.
And Babu moved on and sold it to a young fella
How long ago was that?
months and months,
Right.
months ago, 6 months. And I feel really bad about the fact, because this a guy that bought it works his ass off, and I've never actually, we chat and stuff, but I've never actually asked his name, and I found out his name today.
Yeah.
Kevin.
Yep. Mialamu.
Nice.
No, not Mialamu. No.
So you mean you finally found out because you finally asked?
Correct.
Yeah. By the way, I've worked in a dairy for quite a few years. You don't work your ass off. It's a lot of sitting around doing jack.
Well, what I mean by that is he opens earlier and finishes way later.
The days
than,
are long, I'll
than
give you that.
Babu
the
used
days
to
are
do.
long. His ass will be fully intact, however.
Yes. So this is what happened. Hoity J went in there and bought some baccy, some tobacco,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
What are you rolling with? Oh, you can't say on there.
No.
actually.
And because I've decided to change from Taylor's to the old Becky.
Yeah.
Because somewhere in my mind, I think that's more economic.
Yeah, it used to be, and it's not anymore. They changed it.
Yeah. So she's
a disgrace.
She's not, we're talking $92 here, Pug son.
Jeez,
That's for a
Louise.
30 gram Pug son.
Oh, yeah, 30
I had to send the wife out for a pack of it the other day, and I was a bit reluctant because she was finally going to find out how much it costs.
That is so true. Well, I do that with my wife too. She goes, "Do you need anything?" And I need durries, and I go, "No, darling, I'm all good." That's true. Because shit, if she finds out how much I'm spending on these bastards, I'm in a real dilemma. So anyway, he zapped it on the old FPOS there, and up came $2.
Oh,
and I went, "Oh my God, he's put in the wrong amount there." And I want to firstly gauge, what did Hauraki J do in that situation from your point of view,
what
Mogi?
did you do or what should you do?
No, what did I do?
You told him immediately.
Pug son?
I reckon you left it. I reckon you remained passive and just let it ride and pretended to ignore it.
Thank you, Mogi.
Thank you.
Okay, all right.
But I must admit, for a shameful moment there, I pondered just going, do I not say anything at all?
Yeah.
And then I looked into Kevin's tired face.
Yes.
And I went, "You piece of shit."
You called him a piece of shit.
No. I called myself a piece of shit. And I said, "No, I'm not going to do that." And I said, "No, Kev, you got the wrong amount there, mate. She's 92, not 90. And I know now that my wife will be listening to this, and I'm expecting a text any moment saying, $90! Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. Because I'm curious what other people would do in that scenario. I'm curious actually about our listeners out there on 3483, how honest they are. Whether they'd go, "Nah, his mistake, I'll take it," or whether they would go, "Nah," and own it.
And so the discrepancy here was $90.
$90. Yeah, it wasn't a small amount.
So that's
it
not
was
a small amount.
$90. And I just went, I can't do it.
Yeah,
Kev.
but that's the thing about it, isn't it? It's a lot of money to take away from a backbone like Kevin.
Like Kev, yes.
But also, if you're struggling, it's a big saving.
Exactly
big
my
saving.
point, Mogi. Back in the day, when I was really struggling, it would be, "Oh, geez." So text us 3483. What would you do in that situation? I want to get a general vibe of what our listeners are like out there.
Tui prize packs to give away as well.
Good on you, mate.
Thanks, man.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyt, Mike Minogue, and Keezy.
The Black Keys there on the radio. Hauraki Big Show this Tuesday afternoon. In the previous break, I was talking about how I went to my local dairy today and bought some baccy, and the dairy owner, Kevin, undercharged me by $90. And I was on the horns of a dilemma thinking, geez, do I tell him that he's got it wrong here, or do I just take it? My conscience got the better of me, and I said, "Nah, mate, you got it wrong there, Kev. You've undercharged me by $90. So I'm a good bastard." But we've got Logan on the line. G'day, Logan, you massive backbone. How's life?
Good, thanks, Hoodie. You mad dog. How you going?
Yeah, good, thanks, mate. Good. You've had a similar experience, I believe.
Yeah, I was shopping at a Mitre 10 in South Auckland.
Yes.
And I was looking for a jigsaw. And it was a display model, and I said to the guy, "Can you do me a deal?"
Yes.
And he said, "I'll give you a set of free blades because they're separate."
Nice.
And we walked up to the counter, and he gave it to the young fella at the counter and said, "Do this one for free," because he's buying a display model. He scanned it up and then made the jigsaw free.
Yeah, boy.
So he was supposed to make the blades free.
Yeah, so I paid about $8 for a jigsaw and a set of blades.
So you didn't say, "Hey, no, fellas, you've got that wrong," even though he did you a deal there, Logan.
Oh, it was a hell of a deal. It was $8 for a jigsaw and some blades.
He wasn't lying. That's what it says. I got a text on 3483. If it was undercharged from a small business on my local, I'd definitely tell them. However, if it's a large company, then no way, that's their problem. I'll take the win.
Yeah,
Got to
actually.
take it to the big dogs, eh?
Yeah, okay. I'll let you off there, Logan, actually. I think that's fair enough. Good on
It's
you.
not. It's theft.
It's theft, but...
Want to be very clear, it's theft.
But actually, in my head, that's actually true. I go, if it's a big multinational bastard, I go, oh well, whatever. But yeah, good on you. Logan's going to get a Tui pack.
prize pack, yeah,
nice.
because he gave us a call.
Hey, now listen, fellas. Well, we all enjoyed an experience on separate days over the weekend with the one and only Tom York.
Yeah.
You went on the Friday, Mogi.
I did, and I don't like this accusation that I was on magic mushrooms. I don't think that's fair.
Oh,
what I will say is I had very good seats. And I wasn't super excited to go and see this gig, just because I had listened to his latest album, which is a solo album. I don't think Radiohead's been together for about 10 or almost 15 years. So having listened to his latest album, which sounded like computers rooting.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's hard.
I do.
It's
I do.
very, very hard to find a beat in there, so I wasn't super pumped about it. And then you turn up, and it's just him. He's sort of. It's like he is a weird kid in his bedroom, and you get to watch. And some of the songs, you were just like, I'm not sure this is music. I'm not sure why I'm here. I think I might go because it was taking somebody with sort of severe. I don't know, autism or something like that, and that they've been thrown in the band room at high school and the whole assembly has been made to watch. And you just think to yourself, I feel like I could be clattering around making these noises. And then, of course, it would go from there into complete genius, and he'd be doing other songs, and they were just completely out the gate. It was 2 hours long. It's one of the best gigs that I've ever seen. There were heaps of mistakes in there, which I found really endearing and awesome. And, couldn't recommend it highly enough. Another great example of, if you ever have the opportunity to go to a gig, go to the gig.
Yes.
Go to the gig.
And can I just reiterate that Mogi wasn't on mushrooms?
No.
I was seated in a similar position to where you were, actually, Mogi. If I was to put it into words how I describe this gig, I would describe it as a mad genius in his musical lair.
Yeah.
Basically, the graphics behind him were mind-blowing, and it blew my mind, that gig. I was just like, you are kidding me. And it was funny, actually. As we were driving home, my wife said to me, I was watching that gig and it made me ask the question, what the hell am I doing with my life?
Right.
And I, interestingly enough, had the same thought. He was such genius. I went, what the hell am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
Man, this guy is a genius, just ideas pouring out of him, and brilliant. Pugs, you went too.
I did. I went to the same night you went, Jase, on the sad day there, and I'm not a deep cut Radiohead fan. Like, I know obviously the hits and that, but it just sounded like uncompromised expression. Like, it was just him in his own little world. Obviously, he had a great stage presence. He was passionate about it, but it was just incredible how it would go from like a horror movie soundscape into like a two-step beat and him boogieing on stage with the red lights.
Yeah. That was my favourite. At that point, I was like, God, this is like the soundtrack for Blade Runner or something like that.
Sick.
Yeah, unbelievable. The only thing that sort of annoys me slightly, and that is, I think my perfect gig is to go and see these things and have nobody else there. Because, this was a gig that was entirely seated. It's at Vector Arena. It's seating all across the floor, and it starts at 8:30. There's no opener for him. So it occurred to me that the reason why he does that is because he doesn't want there to be drunk people. It's very weird to remove the audience from a show like that. So you're a musician, but you don't want the audience to react in any kind of way. And I think why he had it so early was he doesn't want it filled up with pissed people screaming things out. Nevertheless, there are still pissed people there screaming things out.
As well, yeah.
And there was a woman that was shouting out. She's like, "I love you, Tom. I love you, Tom." And he was head down over his piano, and he just said, "I'm busy."
Yeah, well, no, it was something to remember. And like you, there was one guy there on Mushies who was just doing my head in, but apart from that, brilliant.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyt, Mike Minogue, and Keezy.
You guys ready to rock?
Radio Hauraki.
This one goes out to you guys.
Gig a little.
We will find you.
Yes, indeed. We've just been talking about a gig. Now's your opportunity. Let's go to Melissa in the far north. G'day, Melissa. How's life?
Hello.
How you going?
How are we, guys?
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
Thanks,
good.
Melissa. Good. How was your long weekend? What?
Melissa, you're cutting out there, mate.
You there, Melissa?
Yeah.
She's back.
Who do you want to? Who would you spend? Who would you spend the money on if you managed to win this, Melissa?
Well, there's a little gig coming up next year here that might be worth popping along to, but it's Suicidal Tendencies and Metallica.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do, Melissa. Even though you're cutting out on us here, we'll give you $500 to do that, all right?
You!
Yeah.
Oh, just incidentally, Melissa, what do you do for a crust?
I'm a office manager for a plumbing company, guys.
Backbone. Massive backbone. Hey, well, you stay on the line there, Melissa, and we'll pass you over to Big Dilly in Studio B.
Yeah. She's gone to Dillian's.
Yeah.
She's in there now
Yeah.
with him, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are your Dillies going at the moment, Pugs?
That's a good question.
Well,
My
I know.
Dillies?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you've got a bit of a collection, you were saying.
Ah. I've only got one dilly, mate, and he's sitting there in Studio B.
Yeah,
taking
boy.
care of Melissa
Right,
from the north.
okay.
You know what I'm saying, brother?
Hey, but listen, keep an ear out for Gig a little because it happens every day, does it, I think?
Yeah, it does happen every day. It could
Yeah.
go off at any time. You just got to listen out for that roar of the encore, and that $500 could be yours for any gig you can dream up. That's obviously all thanks to our mates at Super Liquor. Cheers to live gigs.
Yeah, great stuff.
Cheers to
to
Super
that.
Liquor.
Oh, yeah, cheers to that.
Super Liquor.
Hey, now listen, coming up a bit of sports chat.
Yeah.
Some massive sporting events over the weekend. We'll be getting into that next. Jesus.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyt, Mike Minogue, and Keezy.
Faith No More there on the radio. Hauraki Big Show this Tuesday afternoon. Now, a lot of sporting action over the weekend. Let's have a bit of sports chat. Why not?
Sport.
Yeah. Now,
Sport.
I want to start off with the cricket because I still haven't got my head around the fact that the Black Caps have won a test series in India.
Yes.
I have no idea where that came from. And if someone had said that to me, I would have said, you've gone stark raving mad, put them away.
Yeah.
Phenomenal effort by New Zealand to do that, particularly after what happened in Sri Lanka. Mitchell sat in a 13 for 150 odd, which I think is the third best figures for a New Zealander.
Behind Hadley versus Australia and Patel versus India in a losing side.
Yes. And it just absolutely unbelievable. And I was devastated to miss the end of it, but then I caught up in the highlights because I was going to the gig. Your thoughts, Smokey, because my God, that's out of the blue.
Yeah, it was. It was a bloody ripper, but yet somehow I'm not as thrilled as maybe I feel I should have been. And I watched it. I didn't watch the end. I was the same as you. I watched the highlights, which is never the same.
No.
But absolutely bloody amazing. The only thing I can put it down to is that Mike Lane has been banging on about putting all your money, all your money that you had onto India because New Zealand's never won over there.
Yes.
So then why wouldn't you put all of your money on them? Because you're going to win because New Zealand's never won over there. Well, now we know why.
Yes.
It's because sooner or later that's not going to be true.
Yes.
So, I put it down to the Lane curse. Bloody, just an unbelievable result, particularly given we got smashed by Sri Lanka only a couple of weeks. It's just mind-blowing, and it goes to show that you know nothing. And everybody should shut up.
Yes.
You say get rid of Southey, you say Santner shouldn't be there, there's Latham's no good, there's all these things. Every single one of them delivers. And
no Kane Williamson. And Matt Henry was. And India were hurting after the first test, and you think, they're going to hand it out in the second. And we demolished them.
And the beauty of it was, and sadly for them, we won the toss in that second test.
Yes.
And that did not go well for them from that point on.
It didn't. All Blacks. I don't really know what's going on there. I don't know about Razor's reign at the moment. I'm going, what the hell was that?
It was boring as all hell is what it was. The first half was pretty good, and I love it when Japan's involved. I'm not saying if the All Blacks aren't smashing it, then it's boring.
Yes,
I'm happy with the opposition scoring tries.
Same,
but it was just a series of blunders and a lack of direction. I don't know. Anyway, it was boring.
Yes,
to me.
The league.
But I look forward to as England this week, I think.
Yes,
so that'll be a ripper.
The league. I didn't watch, to my eternal shame. And not because I didn't want to. I just forgot.
Yeah, it was on. I had a bit of a barbie on the Sunday there. I had it on my laptop. People were giving me shit about it. I watched as much as I could without being a horrendous host, which is to say not much of it at all, but it was sitting there sadly. Missed it pretty much.
I think that's about it, is it?
Well, you can say that, Jase, or you could also talk about the UFC. Tapuria smashed Holloway. You'll be pleased to know that, Jase. But he
That's
is.
good.
It's a changing of a guard there. Also, Robert Whittaker had his jaw ripped off and flushed down the toilet by Kamzat Chimaev. It's one of the quickest taps ever. It was good little fisticuffs there. And the other thing was the Consolation Cup, Jason. I know what a fan you are. New Zealand beating Australia in the third test. I think it's 3 out of 4. Australia needed to win that one to keep it alive. Just yet another example of us having zero hope that we were going to win.
Yes.
And yet the same with the women's T20, the same with New Zealand versus India over there, the men's team. We somehow managed to pull these things out of our asses.
I tell you what, mate, it's a New Zealand purple patch at the moment, and I'll take it with both hands. Now, listen, coming up after 6 o'clock, what's on the TV with Mike Minogue?
My God.
And we touch upon a moral dilemma that I talked about after 5 o'clock.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jase, Mike and Keezy. Tune in weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
Our biggest show. The biggest. This is big.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyt, Mike Minogue and Keezy.
You're welcome back, you massive backbones. I almost wasn't ready there, fellas. I was rolling a durry.
Good on you, man.
That's so sick, man.
Yeah, it is sick. Speaking of sick, you're listening to The Big Show, brought to you by Tui.
Get it in ya.
Get it in ya.
Responsibly.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out for the Tui billboards as well. They're back, fellas. How good?
Oh, yeah. Well,
yeah.
look, I think it was the kind of day and age, man, where you could do with a laugh.
Yeah, definitely.
So
it is.
anywhere you can get it, I reckon.
Yeah.
Did you know?
Are you bagging the sponsors?
What's that?
You shouldn't do that, Pug
Hang on
son.
a
Just
minute.
word to the wise,
No,
brother.
Do you notice
it's not
how
the sponsor I'm bagging.
Did you notice how Mogi did that? Beautiful. Seamless.
Yeah,
real.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Pugs was a little bit hurt about how I spoke to him earlier.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, he is.
I don't even know what that... What do you mean?
Speaking of Pugs, he joined us on the podcast outro
I did,
today
that's
because
right.
there's no Keezy obviously at the moment or the rest of the week. And,
Jeez, he was banging on, wasn't he?
Oh, God. Talk about...
You know me.
You know.
God, shut him up, old Pugs.
Yeah, just banging on about
I hope
his
this clip
exploits.
is him talking.
About my what?
About your exploits.
Oh, nice.
Although you were calling them sexploits.
Hang on.
What's the clip about today, Pug son?
So this is a Big Dilly special. It's called Lawn Trimming. You want to hear it?
Oh, yeah.
She knew he did lawns and stuff. Good-looking fella, too, actually.
He'll mow your lawns for you, that fella. That bastard's always mowing people's lawns.
He was a good-looking fella, and she said, I've asked him to come over and do the lawns. And I remember going, well, I can...
I dabble in lawn mowing myself.
I'm sure I could.
All of a
I've been known
sudden,
to do a lawn.
down
all of a sudden, he's
weed
found the
whacker.
motivation that has avoided him for months.
But I didn't, of course, because we didn't have a lawn. Speaking of trimming the lawn,
Yeah? What?
Yeah, true.
There's Pearl Jam.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jase, Mike and Keezy. Tune in weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
Lemonheads there on the radio. Hauraki Big Show this Tuesday evening. Now, after 5, I talked about a moral dilemma I had at my local dairy today where I was buying a little pouch of baccy. And as we were saying, Mogi, she ain't cheap anymore, mate.
No.
It ain't cheap. And it costs, I think, about $92 or something like that.
Yeah.
And when he entered it into the FPOS machine there, Kev, my local dairy owner, he only put in $2.
Yes.
And I suddenly went, oh, my God, now do I tell him that he's not got it right or do I just take the win and walk out?
Yeah, but you felt like a goddamn hero, didn't you, when you let him know? You walked out there with your chest puffed up.
Totally, man.
Head held high.
Yeah,
man.
And I have to say, actually, Kevin is a lovely man, works very hard, so I feel good about doing that. But I put it out there on 3483. What would you do in that situation?
Got one here, and it says, went to a family-owned Indian store, ordered $65 worth of food. My card declined. But old mate didn't see it because he was walking away to go and grab the food from the kitchen. I never said anything, took the food and left.
Oh, you see, that's brazen theft.
Still haunts me to this day.
Ah, yes.
But you can go back and you can pay that money.
Yes, you can.
That's the beauty of that. And then you'll feel better. You'll be freed.
Somehow I don't think
freed.
they will.
Well, Logan,
yeah.
Logan, who called us up, said he went to Mitre 10 and got a jigsaw basically for free. And we were kind of going, well, big corporation, it's not such a big deal. Little business, yeah, she's a bit more gnarly.
Yeah, well, it's you know,
I mean, it's still
this
fair.
might shock you, but yeah, it's wrong in both instances.
Yes.
When I was a younger man, I was never a big thief, but when I was on the dole, I was 18, and I used to go and do my shop when I was living out at Waitariri Beach in Horowhenua there. And I'd go into town, and I'd go to the local supermarket there. I won't say which one, but there was only one. And you go in there, and as I was doing my weekly shop, I would grab myself a pie, and I'd eat that as I went around the store doing my shop, and then I'd just throw the wrapper on one of the shelves.
Yes.
And somehow I'd managed to justify that to myself, like that was all goods. And I don't know how I did that.
Yes.
I don't know how I did that.
Yeah.
But that was the only thieving I ever did. I used to work at that same supermarket, and they were paying me $4.15 an hour.
Oh, well, there you go.
So maybe I felt like they owed me, which they didn't.
This texter on 3483. The bigger question is, if Kevin had charged you $192, would he have chased you down the road?
That's
Do
a
you
good
think he would have
question.
done that? Oh, Kev.
Yeah, the Kev the
Yes.
backbone.
Yes.
Dairy there, Jase.
He would. And there's also been a situation where I've, forgot my card or something like that, and he's gone, don't worry about it, just pay it when you can. So there's good vibes going all around there.
Yeah, no, I think so as well. And ultimately, you're in a relationship with Kevin.
I am.
And you might have had a potential for a short-term gain there, $90.
Yes.
But then the other thing that would happen is if you came back and he hit you up about it, you'd be forced to deny it.
Yes.
And then he would say, well, you're banned from the store. And you'd say, oh, no, Kevin, don't be like that, man.
Yeah, come on,
and
man.
he would say, no, you're off. And then you'd have to go up the road, which would be a massive pain in the ass.
Well, I mean, you see, that's what filtered through my brain is I could conceivably go, I didn't actually look at the amount and just did it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's totally.
So
I'll
lie
pay
upon lie. It becomes a web of deceit. doesn't it?
Hey, Jase, there's a text here, man. Honesty is the best policy. Calm as a bitch.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyt, Mike Minogue, and Keezy.
System of a Down there on the radio. Hauraki Big Show this Tuesday afternoon. Let's talk TV! What's on the telly with Mike Minogue? What an abomination.
I just had a little bit of a cough in there. Never done that before.
I did notice that. I've been guilty of that myself, actually, when I've really hit the durries hard.
It was delish.
Yes.
Hey, fellas, I watched Woman of the Hour. Well, actually, I didn't. I kind of did. You know Woman of the Hour, Jase?
Yeah,
you watched it? Anna Kendrick there. You talked about it last week, didn't you?
Yes.
It's on Netflix. It's she directed it, Anna Kendrick. She also stars in it. It's this true story. It's undeniably powerful, according to The Hollywood Reporter. A true story of an actress matched with a serial killer on a dating game show. It's a true story. And Moaf was watching it with a couple of our mates yesterday afternoon as we basked in another hangover. And I just found it unwatchably uninteresting. I don't really know why people even bother making those films again, which is about, like 5 scenes of a woman being horrendously murdered.
Yes.
Sexual assault. I'm
Yes.
just like, why would I watch that?
Yeah.
Why would I? There's nothing that I find in the slightest interesting about that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch reenactments of that. I'll just pass on that. I'll watch anything else. I'll watch nothing.
The amount of shows, actually, that start off with a woman being chased through the bush or something like that, and you just get to a point, and my wife and I have certainly got to that point now where we're both like, no.
Yeah, and that's why I found it so interesting that this was directed by Anna Kendrick. Is like,
Yes.
of all of the things that she could have done, I don't know why she would choose to do this.
Yes.
Because it wasn't done in a way that was a uniquely female perspective.
No.
I think it was the same as every other thing you've seen, where you just get the creeps and, you want to turn it off. So I did. 0 buzzies out of 5.
Wow.
Yeah, nice.
And
Holy
I'm
smokes.
well made. I'm sure people will like it, but it's just not for old Mogi.
Fair enough, Mogi. I watched a show last night called Territory.
Oh, it's a new one.
Yeah,
it's got Sarah Wiseman in it.
Yeah, Sarah Wiseman. Yeah, no, it's got a mate of mine, Matthew Sunderland, in it.
Oh, I met Sunderland,
who plays, he's perpetually playing waifs and strays, but he's a brilliant actor. And I don't know if you've heard of the American show Yellowstone.
Yes, I have.
It's kind of the Australian version of that, basically. Big cattle ranch, hierarchical system, the head honcho dies, who takes over.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you,
on the farm.
Yeah, pretty much, actually.
Yeah.
But a bit soap opera-y.
Yeah.
And...
As is Yellowstone, though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yellowstone started off good, and then it got really bad.
Tapered off.
But I watched an episode and went, I'm kind of done with this. I'm not into it. And it was my wife's turn to choose something, and she refused to, so I watched another 2 episodes.
Yeah, good on you, mate.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I wasn't really into it. And then my mate turned up, and I went, there's Matty. And so then I was kind of interested.
Into it.
But his scenes were really small, and I was like,
Oh, God.
It's your turn, darling. Oh, look, I can't be bothered. Okay, fine. I'll just keep watching this. What did you watch, Paksan?
Joker 2, baby.
Oh,
I went to the cinemas
musical.
last night. Folie à Deux, is that how you say it? Folie à Deux, the musical. Not nearly as bad as the rap it's been getting.
Yeah.
Not nearly as bad. It's been getting some shocker reviews, but it was well made. It wasn't nearly as good as the first one, which was pretty good.
It wasn't nearly as good as the first one, or nearly as bad as what they said the second one was.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right, Mogi. There were many times where Joaquin would say something and then Gaga would start to respond in song and I'd sort of sigh a little bit.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
You see, that would do
we're doing
my head
another one
in
of
right
those.
there.
Yeah.
But it wasn't so much that it put me off the whole film. The ending was a bit, I don't know. But it was good. Otherwise, I'd give it 3 buzzies.
Okay, yeah, nice. Well, take what you want from what's on the TV with Mike Minogue today.
Don't watch anything.
Not a lot of buzzies getting given out.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyt, Mike Minogue, and Keezy.
Sublime there on the radio. Hauraki Big Show this Tuesday afternoon. Now listen, all you golfing enthusiasts out there. Do you want to join the Big Show and the Swingers Club? What's that, say you? I can hear you saying. Well, we've decided that because now I've got back into golf and Keezy's a keen golfer and Mogi loves it, that we should start a sort of golfing club where we get 4 punters or 4 listeners out there to join us on various courses around the country, Mogi, and we make a day of it. Our first one's going to be at Muriwai. You get a cart, you get to play with Keezy, Hoity J, Pugsan, and kind of Mogi at the end there. We provide beverages, we provide great food, we provide a great time on the 19th hole.
Yeah.
And I believe we'll be doing the show live after the round. So if you're interested in doing that, what should people do there, Pugsan?
It's as simple as going to hauraki.co.nz.
Yes.
Will we be doing the show live from the golf course?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
hell. Okay, then.
Just from wherever we end up on the course at the end there, we'll do the show and then it'll be chill.
Well,
It'll
that's
be nice.
not true, but I'm interested to know what is true.
Yeah,
So
that
we'll
is
just-
true.
We'll do it somewhere on the course. We'll do the show live.
Is that right?
We'll just have a
Thank you.
we'll just
That's
have,
right.
That doesn't
just have a
sound right at all.
massive cable going out to the 18th
Yeah, that's
hole.
right.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I mean we've
Out
done
of
it.
the
We've
links
done
there.
it from things like farmlands before. What is that? What that place is called?
Field days.
Field
Field
days.
days.
Oh, and that was
Field
as
days,
we
that's
know,
the one. So
that
we've
was a
done
beauty.
that where it's actually been set up over a period of hours and we haven't been able to broadcast. But you're saying we'll just stop in the middle of the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
cool.
100%,
I
man.
look
We're just
forward
going to
to
park it in there. It's going to be a great time.
I would love to do a show from a golf cart. I mean, that would be next level.
Oh, that's a dream.
That'd
for
be,
sure. I mean,
you know.
I was pretty pumped about the Swingers Club when I thought it was the Swingers Club, but then I found out it was all golf, and I'm less enthusiastic.
Actually,
now.
just on that front,
As
Keezy.
is Pugs son. Like
Keezy-
me and Pugs just both signed up for the wrong reasons.
Keezy got a hold of me over the weekend and said, Jase, Thursday, mate, 18 holes, Takapuna. And I went, yeah, mate, sign me up. Then he pulled out, the son of a bitch.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Oh, no, sorry, man. I'm going to Tauranga early now, so I'm just going to have to flag that.
Yeah, right.
Gives me jip about, cancelling all the time, and then he does it on me.
Yeah.
After suggesting it. But no, if you are interested, go to hauraki.co.nz, register, and hopefully you win.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyt, Mike Minogue, and Keezy.
Well, there you go, you mad bastards. That's the Tuesday show done and dusted. Mogi, your plans for the evening, please, sir?
watch a bit of telly, I think.
Yeah,
Fun
yeah.
thing to watch. I've got The Penguin. We've actually got a couple of TV shows we're running, so I think actually I'll catch up on the show that my wife was watching because she's going out tonight, so it'll give me an opportunity to catch up on that. Cool hoodie, Jay. And yeah, we'll see how we go after that, man. Be pretty chill, I reckon.
I reckon you'll be in bed by 8.
I think some vigorous lovemaking
Sure.
will be going on in the absence of Noah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Yeah,
Well,
same old.
It's important you take that special time to yourself,
It is.
Mogi. I mean, God only knows. Pug's son does it every day, so why shouldn't you have
Why
a moment?
shouldn't I?
Yeah, man.
And I'm really pleased that it's already Tuesday, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's very nice, isn't
How
it?
easy.
I'm a massive fan of 4-day weeks. Pug's son, what are you doing, mate?
Vigorous lovemaking with myself, obviously.
Yes.
And then I'm going to hop on the game with Keezy and friends.
After a bit of
later
sticky
on.
beef, maybe.
Maybe sticky chicken tonight, I think.
Okay, sticky chicken.
sticky
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. What about
Sticky
you,
chicken.
Jase?
Oh, I'm just going to chill out tonight. I've had quite a busy day. Eat some dinner, watch something, try and get my wife to choose something. She won't. I'll choose something. I'll hate it. I'll watch it anyway. Go to bed, read, make love, have a really good sleep, and then wake up invigorated for Wednesday, which is a big day. Lots going on. But listen, make sure you check out the podcast. Make sure you check out our Instagram account.
Yeah.
Till tomorrow. See you later.
Good on you.